Hey everyone, it's me, RC, just checking in with you guys and wanted to kind of explain where I've been the last few days. On Monday, unfortunately, I was in an accident. Unfortunately, my car did not turn out so well, but I'm fine. It's a little banged up and bruised, and anybody else that was involved, everybody's fine. Just cars are cars. You can always replace those. But I'm doing fine. I'm doing well. I just had a lot of things on my plate all at once, and so I just kind of got caught up with life, and how something unexpected like that just kind of throws you in a whirlwind, and so it takes a little bit to kind of come back from it. But uh, yeah, I just wanted to check in with everybody. But like I said, I'm fine. Everybody else is fine. Just we can always get another car. It's no big deal. So, but it's funny when you go to a meeting, you definitely hear something that you were meant to hear. So, two meetings that I went to this week. One was a big book study that we were talking about, and we had read the story, A Vicious Cycle, about the businessman who would get a job and he would excel wonderfully at it and he would get to the top. And then, during that time where he was kind of putting his nose to the grind, he would not drink. And once he finally got to the top, he would then feel like he needed to reward himself. And, he'd go and get a drink, and then, of course, it would cause him to get fired and, start the whole whirlwind. And all of a sudden, 11 days later, he has no idea where he's at, and that one drink was his nasty spiral, back into alcoholism. So then he had to start back over again. I definitely related to that story because I am not one that is for the mundane life. I like to be challenged. I like to constantly have something new to do every day. I work best under pressure type of person, and I'm definitely someone that is a little bit of an overachiever. And, when I get to a point that I've kind of feel like I've peaked, then I get bored. And boredom starts thinking in your head, and start to thinking about drinking. And that's where we get in trouble, is when we start thinking in our head too much. And it's never a good place to be, especially in an alcoholic's head. And so that was a really good story. I absolutely related to him. I do the exact same. And then I went to a meeting yesterday, and they were talking about the mask that we wear and how you can put on this front or you can put on this face for people, and you want to create a perception that you want to give. And I very much do the same. I put on my game face every day, and I make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward. People look up to me because they know that I do well at my job, and they, really look up to me as a leader. And if they really knew what was up behind the mask, it was, I'm struggling not to drink at work today. Like, it's a big difference between what they see and what's behind the mask. And so, I heard that yesterday in the meeting, and I was like, I very much do that, and someone was talking about how a lot of alcoholics are overachievers because we have an intelligent sense of mind, because we have to then create multiple personalities. We have to overthink a lot of scenarios. We have to create different ways, and we have to lead two different lives. And so alcoholics tend to be a little bit more of a higher intelligent level, just because there's a lot going on in our heads. And if we had just taken part of all that effort we put in our head into drinking, into like our normal daily lives and into recovery, it would be phenomenal. Like, we wouldn't have to chase it anymore. If we can just take like 1 ounce of effort, to think about drinking and put it into our recovery, we would never drink again. And so I thought that was interesting, because I definitely, that is me to a T. I have multiple lives, I have multiple personalities. I will think of different stories for every occasion, and I need to stop overthinking everything. So it was a good meeting yesterday. It was definitely, one of those things that you hear what you need to hear when you're in there, and it was good. So, still haven't worked on my meditation space. I know I talked about that last time, but like I said, I just kind of got thrown into a big whirlwind and just, trying to get life back together and stuff like that. But, I really miss doing this. I really miss talking. Makes me feel good every time I do it, I really just enjoy being brutally honest out loud because, if I don't do it, then I'm just going to sit in my stinking thinking, and that's never good, just to sit there and just kind of dwell on things in your head. So I'm literally just taking it one day at a time. Every day is different, every day is a new day, and that's all I can ask for is just, I can't work on tomorrow. I can't, go back and change yesterday. All I can worry about is what I'm going to do today. So I hopefully should be back on track. My husband and I are carpooling right now, so that's a little difficult, but it's for the better anyways until I get my new car. So I hope everybody else enjoys the rest of their weekend, and I will talk to you tomorrow.